For many Kenyans, daring abroad is a lifelong dream. This is mainly because of the positive impact they believe it will have on their livelihood. But a 36-year-old George Mathenge begs to differ. After living in the UK for about 5 years, George decided it was time to come back home, because to him, home is where his heart was. He is now the principal of Brookhurst International School, based in Kajiado County.
If you have started a good life here, my friend, just continue. Utaenda na hizo masters, utaenda na hizo ma PhD, mazi utaenda kutafuta job ya kuclean.
George Mathenge has been a teacher for over 10 years and has taught in over 7 learning institutions, both nationally and internationally. A passion that began when he was but a small child living in Nyeri County.
The primary school that I attended, we had very good teachers, and I wished that I would become a teacher, because so much of what I do today, so much of what have helped me to be upright and to be very positive about life was instilled in me by my teachers. From there, I just wanted to explore academics.
So George, the last born of 8 children, burned the midnight oil, and in 1997, his efforts bore fruit when he emerged the best in his school in that year's Kenya Certificate of Primary Education exams. He joined Chinga Boys in Othaya soon after. But that was not the only change in George's life.
My mother passed on when I was in Form 2. And it was the most devastating thing that ever happened in my life. In fact, I thought my life had ended. From there, I worked so hard, realizing that if I fail, I had nowhere to go.
And in 2001, upon passing his Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education, George gained admittance to study at Kanata University. This saw him relocate to the city so as to raise money for his tuition.
Juja was my first place to learn, because my sister was there. Nikaanza job ya mjengo, hapo Greenfields, hapo tu JKUAT, hapo next kuna nyumba zimejiko hapo Greenfields, just next there. Hapo ndio nilifanya job yangu ya mjengo kwanza. Tulikuja tu hapo tukapewa job ya kujaza mawe hapo. Sasa hiyo place ya site. Between saa moja asubuhi by saa 7 tumekunywa mtungi moja ya 20 liters ya maji. Hapo ndio niona hii job mazemi siwezani, I remember from there I organized a tuition. Nilikuwa naita watu wa class 7, class 6 na wafunza. I think teaching was in me for since I was born. And it was inspiring for me to see that, hey, teaching can pay.
With the money raised and the support he received from his siblings, George was able to enroll in Kanata University for a Bachelor's of Education in Science. And it was there that his decision to dare abroad was reached.
And I had seen how there was, a boom of everyone wants to do masters, Kila mtu hata ukiangalia Kenya ni watu wengi sana wako na masters. But I looked at it, I said, after 10 years, kila mtu atakuwa na masters, So sote tutakuwa na masters. What is going to make the difference? So I wanted to do my masters, but not in Kenya.
True to his dream, George left for the UK in 2009 and landed in Heathrow Airport, armed with an admission letter from the University of Leicester and 60,000 Kenya shillings. But that was not enough.
My friend, I needed 2 million to pay for my fees. 2 million. Me hapa kwa mfuko niko na 60,000 maze.
You didn't get a scholarship?
For what? By who? I didn't go on a scholarship, but I was determined that I'm going to make it. I had to get the money and I had to survive, because I would not have imagined going back. There was no mom, there was no dad, And it was me. It is either I do it or I do it. There was no other option.
A determined George began looking for any job he could find, and that is when he realized life abroad is not as green as most people perceive it to be.
Most jobs that are available are cleaning jobs. Naamka asubuhi, Mazee uko na degree zako, kimop nini, you know, una wipe, una dust.
But he did not let this discourage him, and in time, he was able to reach his goal and enroll in the University of East London Stratford campus for a Masters in Biomedical Science and later joined the workforce as a teacher.
I managed to work in a number of schools in London. I worked in a school that is next to Heathrow Airport. It's known as Cranford Community College. I also worked in another school which is near Twickenham Stadium. It's known as Richmond upon Thames College. And I also worked in another school known as Hillingdon Manor School.
However, George quickly realized that London was not for him.
If you have taught in London, then you can teach anywhere in the world. Once you go out in your wild, you take about even 20 minutes just to make kids to sit down to listen to you, you know. So the experience as a teacher is horrible. I also didn't like the culture of how they were bringing up their kids. So I also didn't want to start a family in the UK, you know, because I do not have imagined my kid would grow up there.
He further realized that he missed the rich African culture.
You know, here in Africa we are social, you know. Tukutana kwa mat, tutabonga, you know, sikia wewe unafanya nini, tuna exchange numbers. Maze pale ukiingia kwa basi tu unakaa tu. Ukiingia kwa basi ingine unakaa tu, uongei kwa msee, unafinya kagegele kako, unatokea. You don't even know your neighbor, you know. Mkikutana na mtu anasema the next one ameweka stone face, you know. And the same person, the life is so artificial. And I made a decision to come back to Kenya.
George landed back in Kenya in 2013 and began consulting at a number of learning institutions. However, a year later, he received a call that changed his life when he was offered the position of principal at the Brookhurst International School.
Me, I'm a learning support coordinator. Sasa nitakuwa aje principal mazi. Mimi sijai kuwa deputy hata. And they told me that, you know, you do not have experience for a principal, but we like to give you a chance to prove yourself. Yeah, so we'll need to start a new topic on protein synthesis. And I've always liked to change the lives of young people. I've always worked to inspire young people. So for me, it was the best opportunity to do it at a different level. I want to provide international curriculum with the African discipline. I want to teach the international curriculum with the Kenyan warmth. So I don't want to teach the culture, because if you go to these international schools, most of them, they are like small London. So I don't want to bring that kind of artificial life, you know. We need to do the real thing that we do as Africans.
This unique approach is clearly felt by both the students and faculty.
Mr. Mathenge, he's a man of very few words, but he's very wise. And the fact that he has been abroad and, you know, he has had all this exposure, you know, he comes and brings the experiences to his students. We learn from his experiences. He teaches us from his experience. And
he's different from other teachers because he's a teacher you can go to and, you know, you can trust him and he can help you.
That is Mr. Mathenge for you.
Very, very good in terms of people, relationship, very excellent. And also very good with all our stakeholders and especially the parent.
This is evidenced in the way he has been able to bring change to the school in the short time he has been there.
I had also to bring the culture of family, okay? We have what we call the family unit. I wanted the teachers to be very close to the students. You find kids in my office interacting, casually, you know. I wanted them to have that model, you know, a model where everyone is equal. I wanted to have a school where every child feels at home and where every child feels respected and dignified. At night!
I'm going to be there.
George has been vital to the growth and success of the school, which now caters to about 200 students, 80% of whom have Kenyan parents domiciled around the world. The school has even produced the best student globally in French under the IGCSE system. George, however, attributes all this success to the kind of teachers he had as a child.
They really inspired me a lot, you know, and I thought maybe if I didn't have such teachers who still told me you can do it, who still were really firm to make sure that I get the right information, the right content academically for me to get good marks to take me to university, I would not be here.
He also does admit that daring in the UK did have a positive impact in his life, but he still insists that Kenya is the place to be.
If you have started a good life here, my friend, just continue. You know, if you have an opportunity to go there and improve yourself, do it. But no, it's not easy. It's not going to start easy. You know, utaenda na hizo masters, utaenda na hizo ma PhD, mazi utaenda kutafuta job ya kuclean. I have seen people think that for you to achieve, you just go pop. And that is the biggest mistake people do. They don't want to go through the pain. People need to understand that nothing comes easy.
According to George, Africa has a rich and vibrant culture. A culture that, if embraced, will take the continent to its rightful place in the world. Until next time, I'm Michael Zimanji.